What's up, everybody? Funnel Doc here. In today's video, it's going to be a great one. This is a huge debate, and I'm going to give you my insight and my experience in both the 9 to 5 and the entrepreneur. You always hear people hyping it up, how entrepreneur is so amazing, how 9 to 5 sucks. Well, I'm going to weigh in finally and let you know what it's really like, the good, the bad, and the ugly, living a life of the entrepreneur versus the 9 to 5. This is one you sure as heck don't want to miss. What's up, everybody? Funnel Doc. So today we're going to be going over the 9 to 5 versus the entrepreneur, and I'm going to really break it down in these 6 different areas we have here. We've got money, the actual time that you're spending at work, how much impact, how much actual freedom, how much growth, and how much direction. We'll break those down as we get into each one. Now, let's start with money. This is the biggest one, right? So for the average 9 to 5, I typed in here, I wanted to see what the average income of a non-college graduate is, and they're saying it's about 40K. I think it might be actually a little bit lower than that, but we'll say 40K. And then if you look over here, the average income of a college graduate's about 50K. So you literally, if you go in here, you've got like 40 to, let's even go 60K, so for a 9 to 5. That's, most of the time, if you want to make even that 40K or anywhere above that, you've got to go to college. That's 4 years of training. And the funny thing about college in most jobs I found, unless it's highly technical, like if you're a scientist or a doctor or a nurse or something technical, yes, you need to go to college for that. But the funny thing is that I found too, even for those jobs, when you actually get there, they do a ton of on-the-job training where they teach you all the way that they do it anyway. So it's very interesting that to make 40 to 60K, which is not bad, mind you, at all, you have to go through all the schooling and everything, and it's really, that's your cap. There are some jobs where you can over time potentially go into management, but even those become few and far between. Gone are the days where you would go somewhere after you graduate college and work at one job for 10, 15, 20 years, retire, move your way up the ladder that way. If you talk to the average person now, talk to the average, 9 to 5er, we'll say, a lot of them have multiple jobs over just a 10 or 15 year period. So the chances of moving up, they're there, but they're not that high, and they're limited jobs, and it's still a cap on your pay. So with that, when I was a 9 to 5er, when I worked as a personal trainer, man, the best that I can envision was making twice that, doing 150,000, owning my own gym, owning my own fitness studio, something like that. That was my dream. And even then, that's the biggest I could dream back then, because I just didn't understand the potential of online entrepreneurship, especially when it comes to info products, coaching, courses, consulting, agency space, e-com a little bit, but e-com is so low margins. It's really tough, man. E-com is really tough. But I digress. So then let's move to the entrepreneur. Now, mind you, of this too, the average person's probably going to get like 30% taken in taxes. So it's really not even 40 to 60K, it's less than that. So but the same thing for an entrepreneur, but they're usually a little smarter and usually have a CPA that knows the ins and outs, so they'll usually pay less than 30%. But realize for the average entrepreneur, I would say it's not that hard. Now, this sounds crazy coming from the 9 to 5 world, but it's not that hard to hit 10K a month, which is, $100,000 a free, or $120,000 actually a year. It's not that hard to hit 10K a month. If you're doing a coaching program at 3K, you sell 3 of them, there's $9,000. You sell 2 of them at 5K, $10,000. It's not that hard. Courses, sell 10 of them a month at 1,000, you do 10K. It's not that hard. Now, the thing you have to look into when it comes into money for the entrepreneur too, the question is always asked, well, how much are they keeping? How much are they getting? Well, minus taxes, which is a whole nother video we're going to do on this. The average entrepreneur, when you're a solopreneur and you're going basically from that 0 to 100K, especially with info products, you're looking usually at 80 to even 90, even higher margins. You're looking at even higher. For the average entrepreneur, if you're doing 10K a month, unless you're running an agency, if you're a coach or a consultant yourself, or you have a course, other than if there's ads for any of them, you're looking at pretty much 100% profit, or 80 to 100% profit. And again, if you're running ads, you're still looking at probably 75% profit. Of course, taxes and everything, but still, it's very easy to hit 10K. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. So looking at that, money, I'm going to definitely say that money goes towards the entrepreneur. It's way easier to make money online. I never thought it was possible. I didn't understand how possible it was because I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, it's so funny. When I only knew the 9 to 5, I couldn't fathom the amount of money that's out there. And mind you, when you finally learn how much money's out there and you see this abundantness, 10K is nothing. I'm not even joking, but I don't want to get into these where, hey, we're crushing 7 figures and all that. 10K is very reasonable, and that's life-changing money for the average person. So when we break it down, 9 to 5 is going to lose in money pretty much every time, in my opinion. So we're going to give this guy a big red box here for being a loser. We'll make it a little thicker here. Bam. Now he's a loser. Bam. So I think right there, the money is always going to be in the 9 to 5. It's you don't have the ability to give yourself a raise. As an entrepreneur, if I want to hustle, I can go out and post more on organic. I can do my email list. There's multiple things I can do out there to make money, to give myself a literal raise. If I want to go out and right now I want to make some more money, I can just push really hard for the next 2 weeks and make X amount of money. You can't do that in a regular 9 to 5 job unless it's sales-based, commission-based, something like that. So 9 to 5 loses. So time at work. So this is going to shock a lot of you, which is so funny, is because so many people, when they want to become an entrepreneur, they want all this freedom. But the truth is, especially when you're starting out, when you're going from that 0 to 100K and you don't have your team in place, you don't have your systems in place, you're just making that first initial money, you quit a 40-hour work week doing a 9 to 5, which the average hour here is 40 hours a week. You quit that so that you can actually come over here and work 80 to 90 hours a week. And I'm not joking, man. I am not joking. When people are like 80, 90 hours, it's not uncommon for entrepreneurs to put 12-hour days in, and we're talking 7 days a week. There is no weekends when you become your own boss. I mean, you can take them, and we'll get into freedom in a little bit later. But if you don't have systems in place, you're not out there selling. You're the solopreneur. You're not out there hustling. You don't get paid. So that can also be the thing where it's amazing because there's a lot of security, a lot of freedom, that comes into having a 40-hour work week and knowing that at the end of that, with most jobs, you can go home and just not have to worry. As an entrepreneur, at least for me, I can't sleep sometimes at night because I'm constantly worried about my business and helping the people and impact and everything else goes with it. Being an entrepreneur, there's a lot more than just making money when you really do it right. And speaking of money too, that's the other thing with that, like entrepreneurs, they have to pay for their health insurance and all types of things like that. So even though you're here and you're at that 80%, 90% of, a profit, you still have more expenses now, So anyway, look at that. So, but I still think entrepreneur always wins out in the money because, you can always give yourself a raise. You control how much you make when you're an entrepreneur. Time at work, I'm going to say the loser is entrepreneurs, man. I'm going to say not loser, but if we're comparing the two, I'm going to say entrepreneurs are the good, the bad, the ugly is terrible because you don't have a work schedule. You're constantly on the job. It's hard if you're not segmenting your time, just think about this. And we're going to jump down to direction here real quick. 9 to 5, you got a boss telling you what to do. You don't have to worry about the whole direction of the company and the direction of where you're going. Most 9 to 5ers, and please don't anybody take this wrong, but they're not like most entrepreneurs that I know, especially when you start moving to higher levels, are constantly trying to improve themselves and level up and evolve into that next level entrepreneur because it's part of the game. But when you're 9 to 5er, You're cool just being at your job. Your evolution, your direction might be to get manager someday. Maybe. And again, like I said, too, man, direction. I'm gonna actually, because I'm gonna give this one the 9 to 5 too, just because it's done for you. It's done for you, and dude, you know how many days giving you the bad? This is all on you, all on you. And that's one of the things. Let's talk about some of the bad stuff with the entrepreneurs. Man, I can't tell you how many times I would love to have someone to just tell me what to do, man. Being your own boss has its advantages and disadvantages, man. It's for me when I'm at the top of the food chain, it all is on me. The direction of the company, the mission, showing up to work every day, making sure I'm on task, getting the right stuff done. Once you start getting a team, controlling your team, getting your team on task, making sure they're all doing this. It's and the direction of the company, whether it's with marketing, branding, sales, whatever it is, it's all on you as the CEO, head entrepreneur. Now, mind you, get the right people in place so that you're able to have a right team, so that you're able to delegate and have support. But that's once you pass that 100K. From 0 to 100K is hard, man. It's work, it's tough, but it's worth it. And I'm going to get into that in just a second when we talk about the impact, freedom, and growth. So for direction, man, I'm going to give it to the 9 to 5 because, man, it's easy time. It's easy time 9 to 5 when you come to that stuff. Where the entrepreneur, man, it's all on you. So actually, we'll give this should be the red, and this should be the white. Boom. All right. So far, or actually here, we'll do it this way. The winner is actually done for you. Bam. All right. So the winner is for this one, again, is for the 9 to 5. So if you look at it too, so far out of the 2 out of the 3 columns we've done, 9 to 5 is one. Now you can imagine that's not going to be happening right here as much, because now I want to talk to you about impact. In a 9 to 5 job, unless you're working in a shelter or something like that directly helps people, impacts people, it's hard to get impact in 9 to 5 job. If I'm working at the drive-thru at Taco Bell, which is, hey, we got to have people there, or even the manager at Taco Bell, it's hard to have impact. Maybe you can as manager because you have your employees, but just doing a 9 to 5er, if I'm working at Walmart, if I'm at the Smith's shopping grocery store, if I'm at the haircut place, it's, well, there's somewhat entrepreneurship, but you get my point. There's not much impact. Like, you can't affect people. And this is going to sound weird, man. And I'm just going to say it anyway. But I've always had this feeling since I was a kid that I was meant to do more than just work at a regular job, that I was meant to impact people, that I was meant to get out there and change people's lives. And this has allowed me to do that. This has allowed me to touch people and have people tell me that I've changed their lives, I've given direction, and I've helped them make hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars and stuff. It's just the greatest thing ever. It is the coolest, man, because this is life-changing impact, man. Sorry. Life-changing, man. It's literally everything I've ever dreamed about. Being able to I have a freaking tattooed on my arm. That's how much impact means to me, man. And I've got to do it now. I've got to become the funnel doc and be out there and actually make a difference in the world. And you just can't do that as easily in a 9 to 5. It can happen. Not going to say it can't, but it's probably not ever going to. And then with that, let's go to freedom, man. Let's talk about the 9 to 5. Now, you've got a different type of freedom that's in the 9 to 5. You get that when you're done with your job, you're done with your job for the most part, man. When I was a personal trainer, other than I cared about my clients and I did go home and do some I'd set the routines and stuff before we met. Like, yeah, all in all, when I got done and clocked out of my personal training sessions, I was done. I loved it. It was great. And that wasn't sort of 9 to 5 because I set my own schedule, but still just a regular workforce, the 9 to 5. And then there's everybody else, you clock in at 9, you're done at 5, you got the weekend. There's that much freedom with that. But with an entrepreneurship, it's a different type of freedom. It's freedom to do whatever you want, man. Within reason. It's crazy. It's it's the type of freedom to know that if you want to go to Italy for a week, you can. You know, if you want to give $1,000 to the homeless to go out and buy food and give it to them. If you want to take, it was a great one of my clients the other day, Kristen, because we've set up everything now, and she's moving past the 100K mark, mind you, but she's now took like 4 days off and nothing broke. Everything was fine. And she was able to spend 4 days of uninterrupted, no business or anything, time with her family. Canceled one of her coaching sessions. So went and took 4 days off this last holiday weekend and spent the whole time with her family. And that's the type of amazing freedom that I want to be able to give people where, hey, if you need to go visit your daughter, go get on a plane and go visit your daughter. The cool thing is if you do want to work, all you need is an internet connection. It's an amazing freedom. But there again is a lot of stress and strain and heartache and headache that goes with that freedom. But it's real, people. It's real. The things you see in those Instagram and all that, some of that might be excessive, don't get me wrong, because they're trying to show you the highlight of the highlight. But man, the lowlights are still pretty damn good, let me tell you, for everyone else that's just getting into this, man. Imagine just making $10,000 a month. Again, we're not talking millions. Imagine making $10,000 a month and getting to like 6K profit, we'll just say. So you're now taking home 6K within taxes and everything, 6K. How much would that change your life to know that you have 6K that after bills, you get 2-3 grand that you could blow a month or whatever, depending. I wouldn't recommend it. Trust me, I've done it, not smart. But you see what I mean? You have this freedom and this freedom of your own direction, path. And that's the next thing. And this is, again, unlimited. And then that one leads into the next thing that I want to talk about, which is growth, man. Is in the normal 9 to 5, like when I was in that, I was just worried about showing up, doing my due, and hanging out with my bros or girlfriend or wife or whatever there was in the situation. I wasn't ever thinking about growth, about evolving, about, you know, this self-actualization, realization of problems I have within me that I'm trying to improve. Like I just went through life, man. And that's what so many of us do. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want more, if you want to be more, I recommend the entrepreneurship, man. It's the amount of growth that I've had in the last 3 going on 4 years now has been more than I've had in 20, 30 years before it, man. It's and I think that's because when you go down this entrepreneur path, like the devil's in the mirror, man, as they say, it's right in front of you. You see your faults. You see where you mess up. You see where you are lacking because, again, it's so much on you. But the chance for growth is so amazing. A lot of you will find this hard to believe because I'm so easygoing, so loving, and now, but 4 years ago, man, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I used to be this dude who used to get in fights all the time. If you like cut me off, I chase you down and want to confront you in the parking lot. I was a terrible, angry person, and I still don't know why I looked at that, but I obviously wasn't happy. But since then, I've been able to grow at such a pace that I've been able to like look at myself and be able to realize that, you know, there's certain things that like I'm responsible for me. And I have the ability to control my actions and the way I respond to stuff and the emotions I have. There's been so much growth that I've had. Man, and it's been life-changing. It has been life-changing. It has been something that I am, more than the money, I'm just so grateful for. I'm just grateful, man. You know, I'm just grateful for it. Is it? Yeah. Oh. So yeah, I'm just grateful, man. I'm just super grateful of everything. And it doesn't seem right. Is it spelled right? It doesn't feel like it's right. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, so anyway, I'm just so grateful, man. I really am. I feel like that's like the most we'll just leave it that, because that's what it should be. It should be highlighted like that, because I'm grateful, man. As you can see, the entrepreneur doesn't always win out, but it sure does 90% of the time. You know what I mean? Like, is it easy? No, I'm not gonna lie to you, especially when you get before you hit that 100K mark where you have ability and funds to start taking some of that pressure off you. It's hard, it's rough, but it's worth it. The rub is worth the squeeze, or however that saying goes. It really, really is. So in the verses 9 to 5, it's a knockout. We didn't even go the distance. I feel like you got knocked out here in like the 6th round. Entrepreneur is world champion, and it's something that I am very grateful, and again grateful, but and just it's so awesome, man. Where else are you gonna be able to take your knowledge and be able to share with others, and not only change their lives and impact them, but make good money while you do it? Only online this is possible. If we didn't have this internet, none of this would be possible. But it is, and you need to take advantage of it. So with that, please, if you're interested in growing your coaching program, if you'd like to break through those 10K months, you just can't get through that glass ceiling, and you'd like to hit those 20, 30, 40, 50K months with your coaching program, let me know. Go ahead and message me at funneldoc.com/FAC. That's Funnel Accelerator Coaching is what FAC stands for. That's my 90-day coaching program where we're going to help you fix those problems, man. We're going to show you how to get consistent leads. We're going to create a full ecosystem for your core offer. Make sure that your marketing, your message, and your offer are all irresistible. If that's something you'd like to know more about, again, hit me up at funneldoc.com/FAC. That's FAC. And I can't wait to talk to you and get you in my program and start making you an entrepreneur. So with that, if you found good value in this, please hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of these videos. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks a lot for your time. Love each and every one of you. Go out there, make some income, make some impact, change the world. It's all in your hands.